Hey Donnie, it's Jess. Hey, thanks again for last week, man. It was really cool to see this prototype come alive. I know it's not the finished version, but I learned a hell of a lot just going there and stitching it, testing it out, testing on some people back down here in Miami and some kids, seeing basically what the next step is. So I'll text you, but looking to come up as soon as possible and make the next version. I'm gonna make a couple corrections. I'll kind of put them on here just so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So hopefully I can get in touch with Mark and pick his brain rather than bothering you all the time. So with that being said, there's two options. Obviously the one we made is just like a strap around weight belt. It's whatever the market wants as we test it. So I like to do two versions. They should be pretty quick and easy to do. Just depends what the market wants. The first one is a weight belt version, kind of like the one I made where it straps in, comes across. The other one is if there's a section in the front and a section in the back, and around it, it's held up by a wearable. So if people buy this slingshot, they're willing to to wear it. So maybe it's something you slip on your feet, pull all the way up for your belly, tuck one side, strap it, tuck the other side, strap it. Of course, it all depends on materials, cost of labor, and whether it's easier or not to ship, and of course, somebody actually wants to buy the damn thing. So, all right. So let me go through a couple things for you. All right. So the first idea is for like the wraparound, not the mobile version. So this is just a Gold's Gym thing. This thing's about what I learned from the weekend testing out this week. This back brace on the Gold's Gym thing, it's almost like 8.5 inches. I think the breath belt's gonna have to be around 5. I like this foam pad that has all the way through. So of course I'd have to ask Mark about that. So I got two options. One is, kind of like this elbow sleeve you gave me. If I had one piece of elbow sleeve, one piece, then another piece, stitched both those things in here. We're creating the pockets down the middle, here, and stitch here. So now there's a pocket in there. We just cut one sleeve here and one sleeve here, basically for the QL, whether it's one ball, two balls, or that ball you gave me. So that's just an option. The other option is I have these two little pads, just depending, it could be pads in the sleeve. If there's the foam was built in, let's say this is the spine right here. Nothing really needs to be on the spine. There could be a little hole right here. These pads are a little bit big, so just imagine they're, kind of like that, just going over the QL. And then of course, if we wanted to put stitching right on top of it, something like that with the slits to go ahead and stick those balls in, or stick, a racket ball or whatever you got right over there. Now for the front side, I'm just going to use, this is kind of like a body. So what I learned, like I mentioned before, this is 8. So I think the breath belt on the back is going to have to be 5.5 inches, and the front, I think this is like 3.25. This one's going to have to be at least 4.5, maybe 4 to 4.5, something like that. So a little thinner on the front, but if it was one solid, foam piece all the way around, I don't think that'd be the worst idea, just as long as it could really get that ball in. So I'm just going to stick this right here. This will come over. This will come over. Now, basically the psoas pocket would be right here. So just imagine this thing's about 4.5 inches, something like that, and same thing before. I'll just use this elbow sleeve. So just imagine if the elbow sleeve was there, taped around the bottom, we had a slit in it, so you get softballs or 2 racket balls, or the Accu ball that you gave me, something like that, right there and right there. So we'd track the psoas on here and here. We put those holes right between the rectus and the obliques on the lower portion of the abs, just so it could get under any big guy, anything. It get right right on that lower abs between the rectus and the obliques. So for the belt, the belt's tricky. I don't know if these, I saw some things at Rogue with this. Gold's Gym has this thing too, so I don't think anybody's gonna do patent infringing on this belt buckle, but we'll see. But either way, we could use something like this, kind of like we did before. We used, he stitched that in with the Velcro, which worked good. So this is good go right through and staple over. That's one option. Now the other option is, you know, we could put a belt on both sides and just have one, go in the other, or you know, just start something at the QL, have a buckle on the psoas, and then Velcro back over this side. And of course this one would have its own, it would go over that side as well. So, you know, that's up to Mark. We just need to prove that, to make the next prototype, just need to prove that it actually works, and then we can figure out those details later. So for the more mobile version, it would look a little bit different. I just imagine, you know, let's just cut this off and cut this off. You know, there'd be basically something like this on the back and then something like this on the front. So like I was saying before, this is 8 inches on the back, probably around 5.5 inches. So boom, that would go right there. And there'd be one on the front too. So the way I'm gonna kind of represent it is basically, this would be the back pad. This is just around my sides. So we got the QL on the bottom, we got the psoas distraction on the top, and of course, you know, underneath both would be like those 2 neoprene sleeves with the slit, so you can put a ball or whatever in there. Now, if there's a mobile version, kind of like this little strap, you know, I saw, you know, this is the one from the Slingshot. This one's 3.5 inches, but I think it's gonna need to be like at least 4.5. Because the belt on the front side is going to be 4 to 4.5, and on the back side it's going to have to at least be 5 to 5.5 inches. On the side, similar to yours, I thought yours was 3.25, but just something flexible that they could wear, or, you know, if they didn't want to slide it up, you know, slide it up both their feet and put it on their waist. You know, at least maybe we could just make something with a little buckle and one side could go in. All right, so for the mobile version, you know, you'd have just elastic around the side. So now it's wearable, it's on the person, but there's still not enough compression to really get that ball, that, you know, lacrosse ball, whatever there is, shoved in on the psoas and the QL. So you'd want to, if this is the middle of the body, there'd be one buckle. This is responsible for the left side, and another buckle, you know, right around here, right over the psoas where the ball's directly underneath it. So I'm gonna just hold my foot, just pretend, you know, half the body's not there. So we'd take a Velcro pad, stitch it into the back right where the QL is. So as soon as they pull that tight, it's gonna get stiffer over the QL. Then I'm gonna put this right in here. I'm gonna exhale all the way, so my core pushes out. I'm gonna have no air in there. It's gonna be pushing against the ball. Then I'm gonna strap the fuck out of this super tight, and I'm gonna strap it around. So one side's gonna pull here, and one side's gonna pull here on the same side on the left side, and then that should create enough compression on both sides to get that prototype ready. So that's pretty much it. I just wanted to give 2 options to have a mobile version, to have more of a weight room version, and, you know, whatever sticks. As long as they both compress, they're going to force people to diaphragmatically breathe, take less pressure off their spine, release their diaphragm, and those intercostals won't get as tired as quick under load, or, you know, heavy running and warm-ups or stretching, anything. So that's it.